Here we go again, motherfuckers. Let's start this shit. Dum, 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 the whole world's looking at me. Now look, I'm not gonna say this dude's name. I'm not gonna say the dude's name on the video, like the guy that owns this channel, which is weird to say. But what I'm gonna do is probably like put use his hashtag what his name is. But I left a comment because we all know still to this day that Cyberpunk has been in the news talking crazy. I mean they're still talking crazy. Still. So I'm sitting up here like, look, for some reason, I get drawn into the comment section. I told myself I don't want to do that shit because it's just like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like people in the comment section. I just don't get them. I just don't get them. Anyway, so they're talking about the title of the thing was Cyberpunk 2077 franchise to become a new GTA Online by 2022. And so, I should bring up my first comment. No, matter of fact, I think that was the first comment. But like I said, people just funny style. I said this. I said me. Everybody keeps making excuses for this trash. That's what I said. Then I said, like, CDPR fanboys. Oh yeah, the reason why this game is so buggy is because they were making a multiplayer at the same time. This is CD Projekt Red playing 5D chess. Then I said, me. Right, sure. Y'all got Stockholm Syndrome. That's what I said. So this raggedy bitch, I don't know who he is, or who this person is. They made this long comment. So they said everyone has different opinions. Just because someone else likes it and you don't doesn't mean they are some fanboy. I never said that. Anyway, I never said people that like it that are fanboys, but it's just too many people are just making excuses for this shit. So anyway, this dude says, I like the game. I also in no way think it's the best game. It's far from it. However, no game I've ever played like actually blew my mind because at the end of the day, it's just a video game and industry that is still in its infancy. Now I gotta stop it right there. I don't know how old this dude is, but the video game industry is not in its infancy after, like, okay, you gotta think. When I first played my first game, that was like what? In 89. That's over 30 years ago, bro. That's over 30 years. Like, how's that in its infancy? Then it in with the home console going back to Atari at least. That was even before the Nintendo era. And then if you really want to consider the video game industry, the video game industry is at least 40 plus years old. Because it's certain games like, like the arcades back in whenever. So how's the video game industry in its infancy? So that's already a lot. And then what did he say? Because there's a glare. Hold on. The real problem is that people seem to have these extreme far-fetched expectations of what a video game should be. Like, for example, people saying you need to eat food, get haircuts, paint cars, customize everything, have real intercourse and relationships. I mean, that is just a simulation of real life, not a video game. when I didn't like my games, I started to realize they would never meet my expectations. I got into 3D art and game development. Take some responsibility into your own hands. No one is going to make your dream game for you. So I was like, bitch, bitch. So apparently I was like, you don't know who the fuck you talking to for one. So this is what I said. I said, check my channel. I'm a 3D artist slash game dev too. Funny how that works. And then I said his name. So I'm like, I don't know what if he was trying to get one on me, like, I'm making video games and you don't, so taking responsibility, motherfucker. Check my channel. I've been taking responsibility, bitch. See, that's what I'm saying. You don't know who the fuck you talking to, bro. You talking shit like I'm doing something and you're not, motherfucker. Fuck you, dude. On some real shit. I've been doing this shit for a good while. You see the shit. It's not like you could come to nobody. I don't give a fuck who you. I don't give a fuck if you trying to troll. I don't give a fuck what you trying to do. You can't come to my channel and be like, oh, you're not making a video game. Motherfucker, you see the character right here. See, and that's the problem. That's one of the problems. Not saying this particular dude, but I'm probably one of the only people. I'm not talking about people that just test out engines. Like one of my mans, Axe NK, or some of these other dudes that are black, that, you know, some of them that I've seen just work on the engine, test out different shit. But I don't know personally if they're making because this comes from a manga. But this is the thing. One of the things I was saying in my old video, they're not like, I'm not going to be on these particular shows talking shit about these games, because my opinion and my experience actually making games and know what the fuck I'm talking about is not going to be validated because I'm black. Now, if you had a white dude or just somebody else that wasn't black, they could make 5 sprites and be the talk of the video game industry. So I'm like, this is what the fuck I do. So I don't know what the fuck you thinking, like, oh, I'm a game dev bitch, and now I'm in the same space you are. Now what? Run up on me. Now what? You ain't, and the motherfucker ain't say shit back. But anyway, so I said, after 30 plus, if not 40 plus years, how is the video game industry still in its infancy? Then I was like, you claim that people want video games to eat, get haircuts, paint cars, customize everything, intercourse, and get in relationships. You might be too young to remember, but you can do all of that in GTA San Andreas back in 2004. Saints Row the Third back in 2011, minus the intercourse and relationship. I said this prior to this video, but this is the problem with CD Projekt Red, and this is the okay. I'm gonna get to the ending later. Back in 1997, I think that was the first GTA, the top-down 2D top-down GTA. They had police chases back in 1997. GTA 2 came out in 99. How the fuck you can't put in police chases in 2020? And you sit up there giving this shit a pass. Like the examples are already there. You could even go back to Saints Row came out when? Saints Row the Third came out in, I think, November 5th, 2011. That was basically 10 years ago. A game, you can't do what a 10-year-old game can do, bro. And you sitting up here giving this shit a pass. You talking about relationships. I mean, the hot coffee code in San Andreas. You could get into relationships in motherfucking like GTA 5 storyline, like their campaign. Like how you already have NPCs that can drive. You already got the basic model of motherfucking cops and their cars. How come you just can't put that shit together? Again, there's places you can buy codes at. Dude, matter of fact, if okay, they said Cyberpunk took what six like they really start development in 2016. The game came out 2020. And it's like, oh, we didn't have enough time to implement the police to a police system to chase you. It would not take you 4 fucking years to make the code for that. You could even go to cause I heard different stories that some game studios go to other game studios for help. You couldn't go to like Ubisoft or something. They got police chases in Watch Dogs. I mean, y'all in Europe, y'all right there next to each other. Like, why is this a problem? Why is it? You could seriously do shit in games that came out 10 plus years ago, if not 20 according to GTA, and you can't do regular shit. I'm like, dude, so how the fuck is like anybody asking for like the shit has been, it's not like GTA is on an island unto itself. You got Saints Row, you got who was that making Volition and Deep Silver, you got GTA, Rockstar Games, you got who's the Watch Dogs with Ubisoft. There's mad videos of like comparisons to Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption to Cyberpunk. Like they're sitting on the benches backwards. Like there's all types of shit. Like they look lanky when they climbing up and shit. So I'm like, why are people giving this shit excuses? This shit makes absolutely no goddamn sense. It's not too far-fetched to ask for the shit after so many game studios have done it eons ago. But like I said, I'm gonna get to that shit. Then I was like, if they, and this is the thing, they said they want a GTA type experience. So I continued. I said, if they want a GTA experience, there are other open world games that did it better than a game that came out in 2020. I don't expect all of the games. Wait, what I say? I said I don't expect all of that in a game like Control or Infamous Second Son, etc. But when you're making an open world game and you set the expectations too high, people expect the same level of energy the company is putting out. They're the ones who said that shit in that 40-something minute video. Like that came out in 2018. And the dude was saying, we greatly expanded our crowd system. And it's like 2 motherfuckers on the street in T-poses. They have said this shit. They said that. So you can't, if there was a phone company, I don't know, we're going to call it the Snowman phone. I don't know. The Snowman phone comes out and said, we got a holographic system. It's like Star Wars. Like you could talk to your friends in a holographic form. And you could get on 8 different websites at the same time. And people are like, oh shit. Like, it's like, like I gotta get this phone. Then when they get it, you can't even get on the internet. It's a QWERTY keyboard where you gotta press the 4 to get through E, F, G and shit. Like, and then people were like, yo, what happened to the hologram shit like Star Wars? It's like, oh, we didn't have enough time to implement it, but you put it in the fucking commercial. People got hyped over the shit you said. So now when people asking for the shit and then have a class action lawsuit, now the company want to be like, oh man, fuck this. Why people attacking us? Because you fucking lied. And then you set up there and said we wanted it to be like GTA, but then the higher ups was like, no, we wanted it in first person. It wouldn't have took that much. You could have just copied and pasted your coding that made the third person rig in the Witcher series. You didn't even have to reinvent the fucking wheel. You already had the shit there. I mean, damn, it wouldn't take you 4 years to all you have to do is just build on the shit you already had. This motherfucker is fucking stupid. That's talking shit to me, man. Damn. It was something else I said. What the fuck? It was something else I said. Oh yeah, here it is. Come on, bro. I said, what did I say? See, I'm making my own video game miniseries and movies. So I don't have to worry about companies lying and dealing with bad business practices. I've been playing games since 1989. Maybe I care too much about the gamers to get fucked over. Like the people that supported this shit, they're the ones that gave CD Projekt Red the money they got. But everybody got screwed over. I got screwed over, kind of, but I got my money back, so I'm cool. Because they fucking lied. And then going back to the thing, I'm just like I said, you're going to sit up there and say that shit. Like I said, the video game industry is not in its infancy still to this motherfucking day. I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Like I said, what are you really saying? See, and this is the thing. This is why I be screenshotting my shit. Okay, then it was another thing. I was like, CDPR, pitch us an idea how we can give players a GTA Online experience. Game dev. You should be able to create your character further outside of the character creator. You can customize cars, buy apartments. Oh yeah. A third-person camera rig like in the Witcher series. CD Projekt Red. No, come up with something else. Like, how could you seriously sit up there and say we want a GTA style experience without putting all the shit in it that made GTA? You can't customize cars. There's no third person. You can't get a I think it wait. I could even go. I don't know about GTA 1 and 2, but I think you can. But I'm gonna just say for 3. I think GTA 3 had different safe houses. But then I know San Andreas, he could buy different apartments. Again, you had shit that they could do back in 04. You always customizing cars in Grand Theft Auto. I mean, damn, look. GTA San Andreas. We're going to go back to GTA San Andreas. CJ could go to different foods like Burger Shot, Cluck and Bell, what was it called? Pizza Stack or something. You can eat food and get fat. You could go to the gym, lose weight, and just run on the treadmill to get skinny. And or you can lift weights and get buff. They made his character model dynamic, where you could do all this shit. In 2004, you can't do the shit in Cyberpunk. You got a male model and a female model that you can't change. Just let that shit hang in the air. This is 2004 on the PlayStation 2. Let this shit hang in the air. 2004 on the PlayStation 2. You could do all this shit. Again, one of my other videos I was talking about how they like in Cyberpunk, dicks be clipping through the pants, titty nipples be clipping through bulletproof vests, and your system is only focusing on a male V and female V, and you having all these problems. the clothes in San Andreas was forming to CJ's body. If he's fat, maximum fatness, as buff as he can, skin, his clothes was and you can't really say, like, okay, even if you said, if somehow you said something ridiculous, like games are doing a lot now, but they did it right in 2004, and you can't do the shit now in 2020. Like that shit should be elementary by now. That's like saying that's like you going up to college and you learn trigonometry, calculus and shit. You know all this advanced math, but I don't know how to add and subtract. I forgot how to do that. Like that's what? I'm like, what the fuck? See, that's what I'm saying. The excuses are mad crazy. The excuses are mad fucking crazy. You can't seriously, I mean, you gotta bend so much logic to try to make yourself psychologically feel good about still playing this shit. If they could do the shit back then, it should be really easy to do the shit now. The only thing I could say is like a real challenge somehow is like no load times or some shit. Like how I never played God of War, but the God of War game and the one that just came out like in what 2018 or some shit like that, like I don't think they had load times, but they did different camera tricks to give the appearance that it wasn't loading, but it was, or some shit like that. That's like one of the like technological leaps to do. Like no, like having all this high definition shit with no load times. Like that will probably be it. Or like that's the only thing I can see right now. Like that's a thing to be like on some new shit. But all this other shit like customizing cars, like that's especially okay. You have different shaders and materials. You know what? I'm gonna be 100% honest. I be looking up how to do like matte paint. Like you actually seen one of my materials shaders it was a big black matte ball, and then it was like this rainbow color, but it was like mostly gray, but it was very faint. After you make that, after you make the material, because like I'm doing so much, I couldn't tell you how to make it. I would literally have to go back and to be like, oh, that's how I did it. Because it's like once you do the material, you damn near don't have to remember exactly how you did it. Unless that's like your main job. Like all you do is do materials and you know the nose in and out. That's the only way I could see. Like, but for me, I gotta do the character models, I gotta write the script, I gotta come up with material, I gotta do too much. So I'm not gonna remember every single thing. I'm gonna just do it and then be like, okay, and come back to it. But how you do materials, like and have coders, I mean, you could just make the shit and have it so that you don't need to change for every color. Like you got to keep redoing the principal BDSF, and you got to connect all the nodes. I'm pretty sure it's like all you doing is make one whole chain and then just have a, like code to just change one for every color you want to do. You don't have to reinvent the fucking wheel all the time. Like the shit is so easy now. You don't have to do what you had to do back then. That's why I was surprised that GTA or Red Dead Redemption never implemented the system from San Andreas, but it sounds like they're going to do it in 6. I just kind of found that weird. Like, I mean, you could have just easily just kept doing the same shit. Like, you didn't have to take that out. But regardless of that, But all this stuff that people are seeing, like if you're making an open world game, yes, people are expecting the shit. But I'm not expecting the shit in like other games that I've played, like Control or Near Automata, whatever the fuck her name is. Like I'm not expecting all that shit. But if you're making an open world game, people are expecting some shit like that. People just are. You can't seriously sit up there and be like, oh no. And then if you claim that you're making a GTA style experience, that's like me sitting up there and be like, I want to make a Godzilla type dude, like a big lizard in Tokyo, breathing fire, and it's like, yeah, this is what I want to do. But then it's like I change it to like a bird in the desert somewhere saying beep beep. Like how's that a Godzilla type experience? That's the fucking Roadrunner. Like how'd you get the Godzilla to the Roadrunner? Like how? How the fuck you get that? Like I want a GTA style experience. There's no third person, can't customize shit, even though it's in the files, but it's not there. There's no cop chases, you can't shoot out of shit. Like what the fuck is this? How could you say you want this shit? I want a Godzilla experience, but I made the Roadrunner. No lizard, nowhere. I'm just, and then people are still giving the shit excuses and passes. Like I said, the shit just doesn't make sense. That's why y'all motherfuckers got Stockholm syndrome. Y'all got abused. Y'all captive. The company got your money. They hold you captive because you keep playing it, knowing how bad it is, and you keep playing it, hoping the shit is getting good. Y'all sound like battered women. Like, oh, he's gonna change, he's gonna get better, but then he be like, bitch, how come the stove ain't hot? Oh, I didn't have the time. Like, bitch. And you getting beat, and then the parents like, oh, you need to leave him, girl. But like, nah, he gonna get better. The fuck are you talking about? Leave the dude or kill him, cause he gonna kill you first. Don't sit up there and stay with the motherfucker. In him or get out. Damn. Y'all still staying there. That's what I'm saying. I was like, this is a $60 rental for me. I beat the shit. I got my money. I'm never playing the shit again. The only way I would buy the shit if they actually fix the shit. They would have to do too much. They would literally have to do too much for me to sit up there and get the shit again. They would literally have to fix the shit they already got. They would have to implement third person. They would have to lower the shit to $20 fucking dollars. I'm not buying that shit after that for 60. Fuck that. And then this dude, and I don't like the dude, but I be watching his videos because he be like, oh, this is Cyberpunk 2077. Like he sound like a 80s, early 90s like game show host. Like what the fuck is this voice you doing? But anyway, he's talking about the shit like it's always I want this, I want that, instead of saying they should. Anyway, the man is sitting up there talking shit, saying like I want a multiplayer type thing, and it should be more co-op. Why are you asking? See, this is the thing. Now, this is asking too much. These motherfuckers can't even make the campaign right. And you want them to make some shit where they connecting every other nutsack in the world online? Motherfuckers, they can't do single player right, and you want them to do multiplayer. This game should not do multiplayer. I would advise them not to, because they can't do the regular shit right. I'm just like, I just don't. I'm just at a loss for words. I just don't get it. Like I said, I played one game that was so bad that you couldn't advance after that. But it's like broken games, like they were saying Anthem was broken, and then what's the other game? Fallout 76 was fucked up. I'm like, Why, I mean, and these games came out in close succession to each other. Like I never, like it was, like I said, it was the Into the Matrix that was so bad. It was cool up until one point where you couldn't play the shit after a certain mission. But I don't remember any game back in, when was that, 2003? Like I never remembered any other games that was so buggy or broken you couldn't play it after that. It was only now when these companies could rely on the internet with the let's put it out and we'll fix it later mentality, when the game industry started suffering like this. I don't remember any other time. Like it was 2003, that was it, up until like damn near the present day. But you got too many games coming out that can't get this shit together. Like I said, my shit, I could, like I said, I could only speak for me. I could only speak for me. I'm not, again, I'm not trying to rush some shit to a deadline. I gave myself personally a 20-year deadline to do this. So I damn near got all the time in the world. I gave myself all the time in the world. Stop giving yourself these, like, you know, you're doing like a monumental game. Stop giving yourself like this whole, like, we want GTA 6 in 4 years. Like, stop giving yourself these outrageous release dates. I mean, Cyberpunk did say, "Oh, we're gonna like put it out. It's ready when it's what the fuck they say? It'll be ready when it's ready." But damn, when they came out, it was like, "This is ready. This is your definition of ready." Come on, dude. I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't do it. And then even with my shit, I already did most of the work as is. I already got the characters. I already got the looks. I don't need an artist to come up with Raytheon. This is him. He's already here. There's nothing. I already know how he looks. I know his clothes. I mean, I don't have to spend extra time coming up with some shit for this dude. I already know how he goes. I damn near just need coders at this point. I already got the terrain. Like I said, I don't need too much. So I could say like my release date is like whenever, and be a long time to give the coders time to do what they got to do. Not rushing, not with this crunch culture bullshit. I mean, damn, y'all working them like slaves. And then this is the shit they get. I'm just like, it's something wrong with, it's just something wrong. And this dude is talking mad shit. Like I said, he hasn't said nothing yet. And that was like yesterday. Where's he at now? Because he probably saw my shit and was like, "Oh, this dude is for real," and couldn't say nothing else. And your argument talking about the game industry is in its infancy. I'm like, bitch, this is an old ass kid. Then the fuck you talking about? I mean, you got Mario. He well over 30 years. I'm just like, see, that's what I'm saying. People be saying shit, don't know what the fuck they talking about. And he claims he's a game developer. Like, I'm just saying, maybe he is, or maybe he's just basically trying to blow smoke up my ass. They're thinking I'm gonna be like silent and be like, "Oh damn, I guess he knows what he's talking about." But then he met the realest dude on planet Earth and the rest of the other galaxies and shit, and then he was like, "Oh damn, he is real." And I'm old enough to remember certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you even think, like, I would say a lot of modern, like I said, GTA San Andreas came out October, I think, 2004. So you got, that's like what, 16 years ago. So I would say somebody, like especially a teenage kid, wouldn't even know Like the only game, the only GTA they started playing was like maybe GTA 4 and 5. You know, cause some I don't know, some people just don't like going back and playing old shit. But then you got they will have somebody that's like that was 5 years old when San Andreas came out. They was probably too young to play the shit and never played it when they got older. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying this is all for everybody, but I'm saying that could be a possibility. And this dude is probably like he's probably young enough. I don't know. He never specified. But you wouldn't have said this if you remembered San Andreas. I'm just like I said, there's games that's always doing this shit all the time. And you can't do what games did 20 something years ago. Like I said, with the police chase, they had this shit in GTA 1. When the cops, you see the cops on the screen, they be like, and they'll chase your ass. You can't do that now. Like I remember watching the documentary about, I think it was Mario 3 or just Mario in general. And they was like, they painstakingly worked on the shit. Now, one dude in the comment section a while back said, oh, these games are more complex now. Again, I get that. But, like, you can't compare cartridges to stuff now. But, okay, like I said, the CD, when they, like, PlayStation 3 used CDs, PlayStation 2, 1. I mean, all these games, I mean, it wasn't this bad. Even in the, you could even go to the CD era. There was not these, why? And with the PlayStation 4, now 5, now you getting the problems. Because again, back in PlayStation 3, it wasn't this whole using the internet shit. Now, with this, now you're relying too much on it. Because it's like we could just patch this shit. Like I said, dude, I'm just like, it's just ridiculous. It is 100% ridiculous with this shit nowadays. I can't, these motherfuckers are just, I don't want to say nothing, but it's just something ain't right with these dudes up top. It's just something ain't right with, it's just something is not right with this shit. I'm just not, if I'm having this many problems, I'm not going to be these type of dudes at the top and just say put it out anyway. If the shit, because I'm going to be playing my own shit. If the shit is as bad as Cyberpunk, I'll just be like, dude, we're not putting this out right now. There is no release date. Like I said in my videos eons ago, I would test my own shit myself and write down the shit that is not right myself. I'm gonna be an old ass man. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be testing this shit out until this shit is right. It's just not coming out if it's that bad. I don't get why this is a thing where these companies just say fuck it. I mean, like I said, you did not need to put this out on the holiday season. The game was so hyped. You could have put this game out you could have literally put this shit out on Thanksgiving. It didn't, I'm not talking about Thanksgiving 2020. You could have put this out if you would have had this shit in tip top shape, cross all your T's, dot your I's, the shit was tight, boom, tight. You could have literally put this out on Thanksgiving. People would have said, fuck eating this turkey with my family. I'm playing Cyberpunk. It could have been the most outrageous. It could have just been like August 17th. People would have came out in droves and bought the shit. Cause you hyped the shit up. You kept delaying the shit. That breeds anticipation. People was already hyped for the shit. And especially if you keep putting out little trailers and pictures and shit, people would have been all for it. But you was that motherfucking greedy. And then it's like, we got the money, but look at the backlash you getting. I'll just be like, fuck the shit. If it's gonna be this bad, I'm not coming out with this game until this shit is right. I'm like this, like I said, there's something wrong with these companies. There's something wrong with the people that's just fanboying this shit. Like I said this shit a long time ago about the game not having third person. Back after the when they said it was gonna be in first, but I took the video down and to be honest, to actually spare somebody's feelings that I was cool with. But I see they stopped talking to me because they got in their feelings. So I should have just kept the shit up. Lesson learned. But I'm just like, I was like, because I was talking about how dumb the shit was to put this type of game in a first person mode. Even this. GTA 5 came out on the PlayStation 3. When they ported it over to the PlayStation 4 in 2014, they implemented a first person camera rig. So now you could switch between third and first in 2014. What the fuck is Cyberpunk's excuse? I don't want to hear this shit talking about they didn't have time when they already had the camera rig from The Witcher. The shit was right there. I mean, you could have just basically thrown that shit together. You could have just literally copied and pasted this shit from Witcher to Cyberpunk. Matter of fact, it's just like in GTA 5. It's like you try to get around the cops. They basically just teleport a few distance away from your car, from you on the map. Like they got ESP, they know exactly what street you're on. And then they got the cone and they see you, and then the map lights up back again. You see the exact same thing in Red Dead Redemption. The exact same thing. The only difference is the police, they look like the Keystone Cops and they ride horses instead of cars. But it's damn near the same system. So that indicates to me that they just copied and pasted from GTA 5 to Red Dead Redemption 2. They might tweak the shit according to the terrain, but it's the exact same system. They're doing the exact same thing. Like whatever street you're on in 5, they basically already ahead of you on the side or some shit, depending on how many stars you get. Same thing in Red Dead Redemption. So that goes to show you that these companies just copy and paste assets and programs and codes to their next game if it's similar to each other. Like you're not going to see too much copying and pasting from like Watch Dogs to like a Far Cry game, even though it's the same studio, but it's technically two different games. But if you have like something similar like GTA, Red Dead Redemption, you know, it's just the time period is different, you're going to see enough copying and pasting. So you already have a third person like The Witcher in like whatever time period the shit is in, and then just pasting certain shit to the future with Cyberpunk. So why do that? I'm just like, damn. But like I said, maybe I'm built different. Maybe I'm built different. You got enough simps out there to just eat shit up and take it and do God knows what But I'm just not accepting the shit. I'm just not accepting it. You know what? Truth be told, check this out. Now this irritates me. Where you see his hair clipping through his chest. I don't even like clipping in this. Even though later, like, cause there's no collision on the character model. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a point in time where my characters are not going to be like the hair is not going to be clipping through their bodies. But just off of just modeling and grooming the hair, I don't even like the clipping in this. Let alone the actual fucking game. And I still gotta fix this shit because this shit gotta be laid down flat. But I gotta see something about his beard that I'm about to work on. But I'm just like, it's just something it's just something wrong. It is 100% wrong with these dudes. But like I said, I wouldn't be so known where it'll be like I'm on these like gaming channels talking about my opinion, because I'll be saying some real shit and the video game industry will get mad. But it's like, motherfucker, you the one that made some shit that made me mad. I ain't tell you to do this shit. Don't be mad at me. Shit is ridiculous. But like I said though, that's them. That's them because I'm not gonna be pulling no punches. I'm not gonna be holding back. I'm gonna be saying some real shit. If you don't like it, then fuck it then. Like I said, I'll be saying some real shit. That's all I'm gonna do. Cause you gonna be see, you gonna know I'm lying. Like, oh yeah, I totally like God of War 2. Fuck out of here. I mean, like I said, I never played none of the God of War games. Not because I didn't like the dude. It's just I never got into it the first time. Not saying I didn't want to. Certain shit came up. And I just never got into the shit. Like when he was on PlayStation 2. So I'm not gonna play this one, so the one that came out in 2018 in this in part 2. It just is what it is. But anyway, but like I said, like if CD Projekt Red come across this video and get mad, like I'm not trying to work for them anyway. So I'm not losing out on nothing. There's other game companies if I wanted to work on something, but I'm doing my own thing. So I don't have to worry about offending a game studio. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. But like I said, I'm out. I rambled and ranted on long enough. But that's just how the get down is. These motherfuckers are just wrong in the comment section because you always got some shit, some turd ass nutsack talking shit all the time. But I'm out. I'm out. Money over stank holes, and these dudes are stank holes. There's enough of them. I'm out. I'm just out. Money over stank holes.